If I were to ask you what the 3 leading causes of death are in the United States, you might say cancer, heart disease, and maybe obesity. The terrifying thing is that the 3rd leading cause of death in the US is not the result of tumours or saturated fats, but actually the result of human error. 250,000 Americans die each year as a result of medical error, and it's of a similar proportion in Australia. But the thing is, in the workplace, when things do go wrong, we tend to blame it on people or circumstances, and it's quite rare that we actually challenge the job itself. In the public hospital operating theatre context where I'm doing my research, the tendency when there's poor performance or error is to add bureaucracy and tighten managerial control. And this is actually quite contrary to scholars' understanding of good work design. Work design theory suggests, and it has been supported, that having particular job characteristics, such as a high level of autonomy or a high level of variety in the skills you use on a day-to-day basis, lead to better employee performance, creativity, and well-being. However, I'm sure you can imagine that a public hospital operating theatre manager is probably a little bit reluctant to give operating theatre teams a high level of autonomy, free rein over the resources that they use and how they treat patients. So how do managers and others decide on the work characteristics for individuals and teams? The truth is we don't really know. Since February this year, I've been collecting survey and interview data from a public hospital where managers are redesigning the way the operating theatre teams work in order to understand the factors that shape this design process and the decisions that are made within it. Explicitly, these managers are trying to think about how they can build in more communication channels for theatre staff, how they can give them feedback about the work that they're doing, and how perhaps they can give operating theatre teams a little bit more autonomy in their work. Implicitly though, these managers designing the work are struggling to meet the demands of multiple stakeholders. They don't really know where their job as a manager starts and ends and what their responsibilities are. And they're doing this under huge time and resource pressure without a clear organisational goal or vision to turn to. So, my preliminary findings suggest that the job characteristics of the work designer, in this case the manager, may inhibit or enable their ability to design good work for others. I'll continue to collect data over the coming months and years in the hope of building a better understanding of how the work design process works, how work design comes to be, and why poor work design persists in our hospitals and beyond. Thank you.